All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. This video is entitled People versus Paper. And basically, people being less important than money, right? So here's a problem. The most valuable resource on the planet, the most valuable resources on the planet are time and life. But we as people, we waste a lot of time and we don't value life. But what do we value? The things that paper can buy. So you find yourself in this situation where it's people versus paper. That old biblical line, do not be a respecter of persons, because a lot of times people respect a person's position because their position signifies how much paper they got or have the ability to get. So you really don't respect the person, you respect how much money that they have and hopefully how much they'll be able to give you or waste on you, right? So what winds up happening? You don't value the time, and you don't value the effort, and you don't value the manpower, because what are people paid for? People are paid for their time, because the more skillful you are in an ideal world, the more your time is worth, right? This is why people get paid, because either their time is very valuable because of the things that they can do with their time, or the amount of attention that their time generates. But what happens is we get around people and we devalue them because of our own ego. So if you ever been in a situation where this person, you feel like you're a better person than this person, but this person makes more money than you. So this is how people become con artists and scam artists, because they try to scam and con the person out of the money that they've made. And if they win, cool, right? It's not cool, but they win and they want to celebrate from scamming a person or conning a person. But ultimately they're going to have to scam and con somebody else because they don't have actual skill with their time. Their skill is scamming and conning. So the person that they used, they're going to have to rebuild, but they have a skill to be able to rebuild with. But you didn't value the laws, the universal laws. You don't do that to somebody, because hopefully in the right situation, the universe pays that person back 7-10-fold, right? Sometimes that doesn't happen, but that's the ideal thing. But what do people value? Oh, they value gold and silver and exotic items, a certain lifestyle, and they value this more than the people that can provide it. Like I was saying last night, man makes the money, money never makes the man. And it's funny because man makes money literally, and people value the money that man makes more than the man that makes the money. And if you sit down in front of a person and you had a suitcase full of money, some keys to cars and a mansion, and the person right there, they put the suitcase here, they put the keys to the home and the cars here, and they put themselves in the middle, and they say choose 2 out of 3 of these items. There's a lot of people who would take the suitcase full of money and the keys and leave the person there who can provide all that, who provided the stuff, who brought it to the table. And that's the problem with people versus paper. Because people are so short-sighted, you forget who brought the money and keys to the table. Doesn't register to a lot of people. You get around people when you like, oh, I could do better. This is how people wind up having buyer's remorse, or they have regrets, or they wind up not necessarily pricing themselves out of the market, but being uber picky and maybe entitled, but also I want to say more so arrogant, because they think, oh, I got it like that I can attract these high caliber people to the point where I can just fish and filter through, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Or I'll get all these high caliber people, and I don't want that one, don't want that one, don't want that one, don't want that one, and then they throw everybody away. And then what they're left with is themselves realizing one thing: you threw away all of the type of people that are more valuable than the paper that you worship. And now, when you run out of the paper, you're looking for the people. The very people that you discarded, like trash. So, this is why it's people versus paper. And a lot of times, if you're one of those type of people and somebody dismisses you, they did you a favor. They did you a huge favor, because people appreciate the lifestyles people can provide more than the people who provide the lifestyles. And what happens is, and you see it like in reality television or social media, where somebody hooks up with a certain kind of person, and hooking up with that person changes their life. Like, and I've seen it through, it's not just reality TV. It's just those life situations where this person comes along, this person is here, and this person over here comes along, and this person over here changes this person's life. And what happens is, they've been living like this. You haven't. You come into their life, it changes your life, and then you all of a sudden think, I'm better than this. This is what I've always deserved. Oh, so you separate from this person, and you think, oh, I can move on. But what happens is, your life, for the most part, usually goes backwards. It goes back into the direction you came from. Because, you got arrogant and you started smelling yourself because somebody else brought you to a good space. You didn't bring yourself there. So you see people who are missing people, like just even in a small way of dating. Like, have you dated, like, guys may know what I'm talking about. You might date a woman, and you might do things for her and buy her gifts or take her out. Treat her well. I say treat her well. Some say it's simping. You treat her well, and then there's a thing where you treated her. You come to find out you treated her too well, and now she's accustomed to the lifestyle that you provided, and she gets indignant and entitled. And then you're like, you know what? I got to go. I'm done. Because she valued the lifestyle you could provide. And then she started getting picky and arrogant and, you know, just creating issues because it had to be perfect to her specifications. And then you leave, you move on, and now you come to find out she's running around. Well, when I was with such and such, I used to do, and we used to go, and I used to shop, and we used to go to these places, and they introduced me to this. And then somebody has to tell that person, guess what? They did all that for you, and you still acted a fool. Because you value those experiences more than the person who provided. And now that you don't have that person anymore, you want to tell everybody what you wish somebody else would do for you that they did for you. But you didn't appreciate it when they did it. That's why it's a used to, because they had to get rid of your ungrateful behind. So you say, you know, people versus paper. The same thing, you know, in the job market. You have people, you know, you have certain corporations who are gonna run regardless of who's there. But there are certain people who come along that that are undeniable when it comes to the impact that they have on these businesses. And what happens is, oh, we'll just do it without you. You're nobody. And then that person leaves. Because, you know, you respected, you know, that you didn't respect that person enough. And then when they leaves, then everything starts to just, you know, the house of cards starts to fall down. And it's like, why? Well, you respected, you know, the paper or the name of the brand more than the person who either built the brand, created the brand, or grew the brand, or maintained the brand. Just saying. You know, because people versus paper. And I talked about this in some way, form, when I laugh, because I say I always like watching drafts, you know, NFL, NBA drafts. So it just, you know, I just like the draft process because it's funny to me, because what winds up happening is it's like a display of a group has a person who's exceptional. They mistreat the person who's exceptional. They think they can do better without the person that's exceptional. They lose the person that's exceptional. And then you see them on draft night. Yeah. And we're drafting a guy just like the guy we got rid of because we realize, and we think they can be so much better than them. No, they can't, because they're not them. Now you're looking for a shell of what you gave up. Not what you lost, what you gave up. Because, you know, you respected the paper more than the people. Oh, we'll pay them too much. And we'll pay somebody a whole lot less, and they'll do just as well. They don't do just as well. They got paid a whole lot less, and you wind up suffering. And now you say, man, we should have paid that person. Jeez, we should have paid that person. And so on and so forth. This is why I like the draft process, because you see people get overpaid. You see bums get overpaid because you underpaid or didn't pay exceptional people. And then people get mad. This person's a bust. No, the only person that's a bust is the person who didn't see value in the person they got rid of. Because you are not a bright person when you overpay somebody for the memory of somebody you should have paid. So this is this topic. Hope y'all get it. We out.